Any interesting decks seen so far? We had a blast so far, I will say. I think today was great so far. We've seen, of course, Primate Blue Eyes, but we've also just seen Melodious move on to top 32. We've seen Memento move on to top 32. There was a we've seen some Labyrinth earlier. We've seen some Tenpai, but Tenpai has not had a great day so far. We've seen Tenpai lose mostly. There was a Branded moving on to top 32, so a lot of deck diversity so far. First things first, though, we're gonna have a Max C being hit by a Crossout Designator before Sage is hit with an Imperm. Tenpai does have some problems with the Blue Eyes matchup, though, especially with like Drillbeam being introduced now. That is a very tough one to beat for Tenpai. Drillbeam is very, very good. Any sharks? No sharks so far. Okay. So you're throwing a lot of stuff into your opponent's way with a Maxi and 2 infinite impermanence, but do you actually have what it takes to actually play next turn yourself? Oh, Wishes. You got an Ash for that too? No. Okay. Synchro Rumble is interesting. Synchro Rumble is an interesting tech choice in Blue Eyes. I don't think I've seen that one yet. Obviously, that indicates the use of Crimson Dragon, yeah. I mean, what is an extra engine requirement if you're playing the Blue Eyes deck already, huh? You already got like 10 cards you don't want to draw. So what is it? What's the difference really? What's the difference between 10 and 11? Come on. Huh? Does Blue Eyes really need the higher ceiling with Crimson Dragon? I mean, I personally don't think so, so I don't use it in my version, but I also don't think it's like terrible to use. I don't think it's bad, because Blue Eyes technically does have some flex spots in the extra deck that you don't need super often, so I don't think it's like the end of the world to decide to use the Crimson Dragon package. I think it's fine. But I don't think you need it. All right, that's going to be the Spirit Dragon here. I mean, if the Synchro Rumble was in the deck, this would enable you to go for the full double Crimson Dragon setup, a double Spirit setup, right? You would go Spirit, tag out into Crimson, search Rumble, Spirit brings back, like Spirit with Eyes of Blue brings back Blue Eyes White Dragon, and then you can Synchro Rumble for another tuner. But yeah. Spirit was, oh no, Spirit was impermed. Yeah, my bad. The link was impermed. Yeah. Well, that's my favorite Blue Eyes setup. Hieratic Seal plus Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon. That's what I like to see. And one set. Alright, just 3 cards to deal with this is definitely rough. This is not what you want to see when you have Maxi and 2 Imperms. You don't want your opponent to end on this still. And it is a Blue Eyes mirror match here, actually. And we've talked about this before, how Blue Eyes is one of those examples of a deck that actually cannot play very well through its own disruptions. Like, the biggest deal is the Trap card, too, which we don't know if they have it or not, but the Trap card is very strong in the mirror. First 3 cards would you shotgun into Ultimate Spirit? You could shotgun the effect of Blue Eye Spirit Dragon immediately to go into Ultimate Spirit. I wouldn't hate that decision. But I also don't think you have to do that. Okay, we decide to let the Sage with Eyes of Blue go through. And we also allow them to link summon Spirit with Eyes of Blue. This might open up a window here for them to actually do something. They have gotten a lot of free card advantage here. And it's almost even. Of course, the board position is still very dominant. We're going to go to the battle phase, and that's going to force the Hieratic Seal anyways with the Spirit. So that's kind of annoying. We let them do all that, and they still force out the seals, of course, at the cost of the battle phase, which is valuable. There goes the Spirit, and Hieratic Seal is going to activate. We summon out an Ether Barrel. That will not be able to activate because it's only on normal summon, but still, getting it into rotation is nice. Because once it hits the graveyard, it'll go back to the hand. There's the Mausoleum. That's going to allow for a potential second normal summon if we want to. If we have one, rather. Like another Sage here would be pretty good. Could normal summon Maiden? Could normal summon Maiden, but then you're skipping on the True Light for now, which I don't know if you want to do that. Blue Eye Spirit Dragon will now tag out into probably an Ultimate Spirit. So it's going to be Ultimate Spirit plus a face down card versus whatever they still have in hand, which we don't know much about. We only know there's a Maiden of White. Is all we know. All right. Do we have a good extra normal summon here? We're using it. It's just the Maiden of White. Okay. You could target the Maiden of White with the field spell now to get the revive on the Sage. But Sage is only on normal summon, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Only on normal summon. Well, self-target the Maiden with the field spell is going to attempt to respond to it. You can block this off if you chain to the field spell, but they don't. All right, Maiden of White is going to revive the Sage, and all of a sudden, this feels a lot more playable for King Emrock here. And now you can still use the Maiden effect on the field to get to the True Light if you wanted to. Blue Eyes lacks removal options in main phase 2. That's true. At the same time, you don't have to remove that much here, right? Like the Ultimate Spirit is going to be destroyed in the end phase anyways. It's going to replace itself, but... Right? And then like the Ether Barrel, I think it's actually better for you if the Ether Barrel stays on the field. Because that way it won't find its way back into the hand, so they can't normal summon it next turn to get access to the Primate cards. Like I think it's genuinely better if the Ether Barrel stays here. So the only things you're worrying, I mean, of course, being able to negate the True Light would be get rid of the True Light would be nice. Okay, we have a Lordly Load, which is very good here. probably has to go for the drill beam immediately and not for the ether barrel, of course. Which you would like to have the ether barrel in rotation, but you don't have a normal summon for it, so... Alright, declare Blue Eyes White Dragon. Or Loadly Load. And once that hits the field... the drill beam is live. And I think King Emrock is suddenly favored here. Because the only possible interruption is this set card. And we now have a live drill beam that checks it. So we can just play here. We are in main phase 2, and we cannot activate special summoned monsters anymore because we used Lordly Load's secondary effect, but still. All of a sudden, it's not looking too bad. The only thing we don't have, and that might be a difference maker in the long run, is we don't have True Light. For the player at the top here, no True Light. Player at the bottom has True Light, which can be a big difference maker in the long run, I think. But we'll see. We make 2 more spirits. That's gonna be all 3 spirits gone. But it looks like we want to make a seals. Actually, no, it's not all 3 gone. Why is it only 2? Where did the first one go? Oh, it was bounced. Ah, I see. If they play 3, they have another one. Okay. That's gonna be Hieratic Seal of the Heavenly Spheres. We have Drill Beam. What else do we have? Or is it just going to be... Ooh, they're leaving the Drill Beam in hand because they want to check the True Light with it. But if Fujin just doesn't activate the True Light here, it's kind of an awkward spot. It's a very awkward spot here. I was thinking about this, like holding Drill Beam in hand. The thing is, I only like this play if you have another card that you can set. So what I was thinking is, maybe we can set a spell trap, make the opponent think that's the Drill Beam. So they're going to activate the True Light in the end phase to play around the Drill Beam, but then you Drill Beam them from hand. That would have been a nice play. But this way around, I don't like it because Fujin just doesn't have to activate the True Light here. And then if you Drill Beam the True Light, then they just chain it. Yeah, now you're forced to preemptively activate the Drill Beam, target the True Light, they chain it now. But you still get to banish the True Light forever, so that's still worth something. But awkward spot there. Awkward spot with the Drill Beam. Yeah, there goes the True Light. The thing is, this card being set here is very good, of course. Is there 1 or 2 Blue Eyes in rotation already? It's only 1. Only 1 Blue Eyes in rotation. That's neat. I still think in the long run, if we can get to a grind game from this point on, I mean, arguably we already are in a grind game, but if this game goes on for much longer, I do think King Emrock has an advantage here. But that Sage with Eyes of Blue is a phenomenal draw. That's a phenomenal draw. But like, Lordly, like the thing is, all things in the long run, all things speak for King Emrock here at the top, because Lordly Load on the field is a free summon every turn. That's huge. True Light being banished is a massive deal for Fujin. Ooh, Dominus Purge. Last card in hand. Is there a trap? There is a trap. That's going to destroy the Spirit with Eyes of Blue. That's a good one. That's a good one to have here. This is still game one. This is an intense game one. And the crazy part is it's still anyone's game. Like, this is not over. Okay. Well. I mean, what do you do here into the seals? Tribute the ether barrel to send a normal monster. This is the one thing that Fujin has over Mrock right now is ether barrel. Even though we had access to a lordly load, we did not go for ether barrel because we didn't have a normal summon to spare. So this Drillbeam in the graveyard is not going to come back anytime soon unless we top deck a ether barrel. Or we could summon ether barrel off of our hieratic seals, I guess, which is the same thing that Fujin did. So I suppose, I mean, probably not going to be too hard to think of that play because they just saw the opponent do that. Could seal their own lord. Ooh, that's a cool play too. Yeah, use hieratic seal to bounce your own lordly load. That's a nice play. I don't think they're going to do that, though. I think bouncing the blue eyes is a little bit too tempting here. Because that being, like, stuck in your opponent's hand is kind of cool. I don't know. And yeah, I think they're just going to bounce the blue eyes, but we'll see. It's this weird point where you have to decide between, do I want to make the... Ooh, bouncing the maiden. No more normal summon for that maiden. That might be a very smart decision. That might be very smart, actually. Because you can't get that back. If you bounce the blue eyes, they can still make another spirit, revive blue eyes, bring back maiden, all that. If they play 3 spirits. But that's another big question. From both players, we've seen 2 spirits each. We've seen 2 spirits each. So big deal here is who does have a 3rd spirit? Who has a 3rd spirit in their deck? All right, there's Drillbeam trying to reset. It's not going to be live this turn, but next turn. And we do have a link here that looks like it's another spirit. We do play 3 copies. Ooh, Effect Veiler right away. That's a pretty good Effect Veiler. Stopping it from reviving a Blue Eyes White Dragon here. Which means the last card in hand is the Maiden. We knew the Effect Veiler was there because the Sage added it. Good use of the Effect Veiler. Whoa, the draw was Roar though. They tried so hard to do not get them a Blue Eyes. And there's the Roar. That's going to be a Blue Eyes. That's going to trigger Maiden. That's like the perfect draw there, I think. Very nice draw. And there's Majesty. Force it out here. That's going to be destroying 2 cards. Because we have a Blue Eyes on the field and a Blue Eyes in the graveyard. What do you destroy, though? You would really like to destroy the Drillbeam and the Lordly Load, I think. But, like, you can't afford to take the Drillbeam here. Oh, actually, this is nice. Because the Drillbeam isn't live anyways without the Blue Eyes. But the thing is, they still have True Light. Yeah, they still have True Light. They can use the Maiden. Oh, and that's what I meant earlier when I said in the long run, this is looking really good for Mrock. Because they still have the True Light. Now watch this be a Drillbeam. What if this is a Drillbeam? End phase? Why did we have to do this in end phase? Okay, we're setting the trap card. Interesting. I thought we were going to summon back Blue Eyes. And... but we've already brought back Maiden, actually. Bringing back Blue Eyes there doesn't do that much. Setting the trap card is actually what I prefer. Yeah, I like that. In which case, I guess it doesn't matter. But we use the True Light here immediately to bring back the Blue Eyes White Dragon, which makes this Drillbeam live. I think, dude, they've turned it around. They've actually turned it around. This is a phenomenal game. This is my favorite game so far today. This is a very good game. Ether Barrel back to the hand, and that's going to be... This is the turning point potentially if Fujin can get to the Primite engine now. That's like the one way we can potentially turn it around. I think this is a very high priority target for Drillbeam. Like if we normal summon Ether Barrel, I think you're almost forced to Drillbeam it. Unless you could also, of course, you could decide whether you want to Drillbeam it or whether you want to use the Majesty. You can also use the Majesty to stop the Lordly Load. But the thing is, if you don't banish the Ether Barrel, it's going to come back every turn. And the thing about Blue Eyes is I don't know how easy it is going to be to do 8,000 damage in one turn for either of these players, because their extra decks are starting to get kind of... They're running out. I mean, of course, there's still 11 cards left in Emrock's extra deck, but there's 0 spirits left in the extra deck. So that's a problem. That's a problem in regards to how much damage you can do, because Spirit is one of the ways how you can very easily convert like a small tuner monster into a big 3,000 attack. Okay, Blue Eyes on Blue Eyes violence. Do we allow it? We can't allow it. Yeah, we can't allow it, because otherwise the Drillbeam is not live anymore. We have to stop. Have to stop it. Reveal 2 Blue Eyes, destroy them. It's finally going to reveal what the set card was. It was skill drain this entire time. Man, that's what you get for playing continuous trap cards. Alright, well, main phase 2. Can Ether Barrel make something happen? There's the Ether Barrel. This is... You definitely Drillbeam. Yep, with the quickness, not even thinking about it. Let's go. Drillbeam the Ether Barrel. Do we have an answer to it? No. There it goes. Negated and banished. So strong. End phase. I think that's it. I think that's it. After a long and grindy 25-minute game 1, I think King Emrock is finally in the position to take this Blue Eyes mirror. What a game. At least I think so. I don't know exactly how we can turn it around. There's a Max C, but that's a little too late at this point. Because we can just chain the special summon. Yeah, that's just going to be still good enough. That's gonna be it for game number 1 here in top 32. What a game 1 it was. That was a banger.